Your Excellency, Mr. Adama Barrow, President of the Republic of the Gambia, Your Excellency, Mrs. Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, Minister of Women's Affairs and overseeing the Office of the Vice President, Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, Honorable Ministers, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Honorable members of the National Assembly, Your Lordships, the Mayors of Banjul and the Kanifing Municipal Council, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our religious leaders, and all other protocols observed. Today is a day we have worked towards for 10 years, and I realize also today is the beginning of a new chapter in Horizon's journey. A journey that has on so many occasions been a very lonely one, certainly a lonely one for me. The Horizons venture is an exciting yet challenging opportunity, a responsibility I accepted to establish a self-sustainable, high-quality healthcare provision in the Gambia, my country of birth, that uses some of the profits from an international standard private hospital to treat the poor, pregnant mothers and infants under 2 years old. A social enterprise underpinned by wealth redistribution through healthcare. All I've ever done in my career to date was to prepare me for this opportunity. But I was told it could not be done. I was told to aim for less. I was told to start small and to build slowly. The decision was therefore very clear in my mind. Yes, we can, and yes, we will bring the best healthcare in the world to the Gambia, because the question is, why not? And we will do it with honesty, we will do it with transparency, we will do it with good financial and legal governance. And whilst I did not know what lay ahead of me on this day we started this journey in 2007, I knew I was on the right road. I knew that together we could achieve something special. And the road has indeed been a long one. But if we as Africans aim for mediocrity, we will have no trouble in achieving it. Instead, we went on to secure the funding from the African Development Bank, our continent's development bank, the Islamic Development Bank, private sector divisions, the first for the Gambia. We found incredible private investors, some of them are sitting up here. We found amazing philanthropists, some of them are sitting out here. We found good people within the Gambia that stood shoulder to shoulder with us through all the struggles. This is the first greenfield private sector healthcare investment by our development banks in sub-Saharan Africa. Unsurprising then that it took us 10 years to get here. 16 years ago, when I first stepped into what was then called the Royal Victoria Hospital, I was traumatized by my experiences. The suffering I witnessed, I had never encountered before. The events that unfolded in the subsequent years brought me closer to my vocation as a doctor, and indeed cemented my passion for volunteerism, returning to the Gambia to work charitably year on year. However, by 2007, I was confronted by the stark realization that charity was not the solution for our health sector challenges in the Gambia, nor in the rest of sub-Saharan Africa. It was clear that the private sector had to be the catalyst to the social impact the people of Africa desired, because only through entrepreneurial philanthropy can sub-Saharan Africa regain her pride and dignity. Only through entrepreneurial philanthropy can we secure the sustainable, universal quality healthcare for all of our people, rich and poor. We are tired of the lifelong indignity of begging for charity. As a result, the concept of Horizons model was born, and from that moment onwards, I was always confident that we will witness this day Confident because the model is underpinned by good business principles and all stakeholders are aligned through shareholding, each with a legitimate expectation of a fair return on their investment. The more profit private investors make, the more social impact also will be found through pro rata dividends paid into the Horizons Charitable Trust. I was born to a wonderful father, the late Dr. Peter John Ndow, former Director of Medical Services in the Gambia, who often said to me that he made a promise to God that he will look after the poor and their children. As a child, I resented that commitment because I endured my father saying on many occasions to me that he did not have money to give me for school shoes, to buy books, to pay school fees. Yet I witnessed long queues of people outside his office in Banjul, poor women and their children coming out of his office with money for their own children, for shoes, for books, and for school fees. However, today I realize that my resentment was born out of my own ignorance and self-centeredness. And on closer reflection, I also realized that those childhood experiences were my first introduction to the true meaning of philanthropy. My first introduction to the true meaning of medicine as a vocation. And above all, a realization in our own continent that women are the cornerstone of sustainable development in sub-Saharan Africa. Therefore, the Horizons Charitable Trust was established to provide the best possible care to pregnant mothers and their children who are poor. Over the past 16 years of doing charitable work in the Gambia, I have witnessed real pain and suffering. I have witnessed, however, real bravery and sacrifice in these women, yet too many of them remain trapped in a vicious cycle of poverty, malnutrition, unnecessary deaths during pregnancy or childbirth, and often the loss of a precious baby. Experiences that changed my own life forever. I have grown to recognize that indeed I am blessed. And with that comes much expectations, including a lifetime apprenticeship of serving others. Volunteerism for me has thankfully never been a matter of choice. It has always been a responsibility, and that is the true meaning of my own vocation. In doing our best to serve others for free, I do not know what at least my own destiny will be. However, I can say to you today that I have discovered real happiness ever since I learned how to serve the poor. 1 in 16 mothers face death or risk of death or serious morbidity during pregnancy and childbirth in sub-Saharan Africa. 1 in 3 of them will bleed to death during pregnancy and childbirth. So why are we all silent? If 1 woman bleeds to death during childbirth in Scotland, there will be a national inquiry. So why is the world silent when our mothers are dying needlessly in sub-Saharan Africa? Why is the world silent? This need not happen. We can do something about it. Each and every one of us has a role to play, no matter how small. The Gambia has all the ingredients needed to be the proof of principle. A future beacon of quality healthcare in sub-Saharan Africa. A beacon of hope, fired up by countless selfless acts of ordinary people. All of us sitting here today. Horizons is committed to doing her part alongside the Ministry of Health. I will finish by saying we would not be here today if it were not for the selfless acts and generosity of so many people. The project has reaffirmed my faith in people. There are good people in the Gambia. For every one unhelpful Gambian we have encountered along the way, there were 50 other incredible, selfless, ordinary Gambians ready to stand with us shoulder to shoulder. His Excellency, the President, honorable ministers, our incredible investors, Gambian and non-Gambian, some of them have traveled a long way from Canada and beyond to be with here today. I thank you for your trust. It would be remiss of me not to thank countless others from the Second Republic that supported this project without needing anything from it. To the selfless trustees of Horizons Trust Gambia and Horizons Trust UK, I thank you. To my long-suffering family, I thank you for your understanding. To my late father and to my late mother, I am sorry I could not work faster for you to witness this day. But wherever you may be now, I ask for your understanding for all the times I visited the Gambia and did not spend more time with you because of my pursuit of the Horizons ambitions. I leave you all now with my commitment to deliver Horizons goals with honesty and integrity. I commit to always do the best for the people of the Gambia. And finally, I commit my life to improving the well-being of the most vulnerable in our society, the poor, mothers and their children. So I ask each and every one of you here today, or connected to Horizons in any way, wherever you may be, to join us to create a legacy that generations will be proud of. Finally, I thank His Excellency the President, because without his leadership, we would not be standing here today, 6 months after the new republic. I thank you very much for your support.